Okay, I believe we are live now. Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone from Facebook watching Yuana Stage International Women's Day 2021. Today, we're going to celebrate female and feminist artists and their activism. And here, we're going to have some performance from poetry, prose, and reading out some visual arts. But before that, let me just admit some artists here. Okay. Before that, we're gonna have a moment of silence to remember the loss of brave souls and to stand in solidarity of what's happening in Myanmar. So I encourage people in Yuana stage, the artists, to do 3 finger salutes for the next moment. Please, everybody, you can show your... We mourn for the loss of brave souls who were murdered by terrorist Myanmar junta. May their courage be contagious, rest in power. Thank you. And now let me share some information regarding what is happening in Myanmar. Wait a second. So everyone, please monitor and mobilize what's happening in Myanmar through these websites: myanmararmybrutality.github.io/archive/index.html, or the crimes of General Min Aung Hlaing.com. And you can follow up also through Facebook, this up to date Myanmar, or these pages on Instagrams at Listen Up Myanmar, at OOTD Myanmar, at Insta Myanmar, at Spotlight_Myanmar. And you can follow along this hashtag on Twitter, hashtag What's Happening in Myanmar, hashtag Milk Tea Alliance, hashtag Civil Disobedience Movement, or hashtag CDM, and hashtag Myanmar Poop. And now, while we are standing in solidarity of what's happening in Myanmar, we also would like to stand in solidarity with all the female feminist artists here. And as you know, Yuana Stage will be presenting a lot of arts from prose, poetry, visual arts, and you are now hearing the arts through the artist itself. So we're gonna start from the first artist, which is Mai Chin. Mai Chin is based in Singapore, and this is her bio. I'm just gonna read it some words on her bio to introduce her. So driven by her autobiography and memories, her work often revolves around the themes of identity, consciousness, displacement, and nostalgia. She works across traditional media, namely drawing, painting, and photography, as well as new media. Over her artistic expedition, she finds solace in embracing the cognition and the experimental processes of the intangible quality of light. Its properties and nature intrigued her to pursue as a key material to explore her themes, with the aim of creating a sensorial experience that connects physical space, displayed object, and human presence. You can visit her page on instagram.com/destructiveclub. So, Mai Chin, the stage is yours.
Hi, everybody. So I would be sharing with you 2 extracts of the poems from the Venus Rising series. So starting with The Future is Female, The Future is Now. In a box, they confine her. In a box, she plays safe. In a box, she seeks her inspirations. In a box, she was never fully aware. In a box, she was never fully belonged. this work is actually quite close to me, considering because the models are actually also my bandmates. It was taken very spontaneously after our band practice. We were just like venturing around, and then we came across this like empty box and fragmented glass on the ground, and I started to wanting to play around and starting to direct my bandmates. Perhaps they can do certain like poses and everything. And looking back at it, I realized that there was like a subconscious ideas that I was trying to express. I noticed that the hobbies here that we picked up also is also very male dominated, and so I was trying to kind of talk about how we live in a man's world in a way, even if we live in a first world country, is still very male dominated, whether it's sports, hobbies, or any industry. So I wanted to talk about the societal's boundary and ideology, how oftentimes sexuality is fitted into according to what defined to be feminine or masculine qualities. And because of that, oftentimes also females such as myself, we hesitated to go for certain ambitions because it's male dominated, because it can be very intimidating and hostile environment. And I realized that this is the kind of doubts that should not even exist. It should have been just as equal. It should have been both genders should deserve, I mean, both sexuality should deserve to do what they want to do. So so what I believe is that we females also deserves to be as adventurous and ambitious as much as what we are passionate about, and also be credited and recognized without limiting or narrowing it down to our sexuality. So I do believe that, okay, with the titles, I believe that the future only truly arise when it's no longer male dominated. So I think that females should not be celebrated because of convenient performative activism, marketing, because it's not sincere. And another thing about that is it exacerbate the ongoing issue as well. So I feel that they should be celebrated because they are genuinely good and deserve their recognition for their skills and qualities. So this is for my first work. Moving on to the next work, I will be sharing, reading out Who Is She Part 1. So her aura spreads through the room like the golden hours. Spring comes early at the side of her beam. She is a sister, a daughter, a lover. This work also is very personal to me. The aura and the spirit I was trying to capture in these photos actually reminds me of somebody that I know, or where I'm from. It's just very hits homes to me because it's very common and it's a very familiar case where a lot of young girls lost their lives to predators and crimes ranging from rape and trafficking and murder. So I was trying to kind of humanize the females here by recognizing the significance behind their nurturing role in a family setting against the objectification outlook by predators. This notion aims to kind of cut across the issues of sexualizing underage girls without acknowledging the significance of the values and qualities that come with this responsibility, and also the loss of innocence when their lives are taken away by the barbaric acts, as mentioned. So these are the victims and targets all because of their sexuality. It's still ongoing, and it's not long ago that I've still heard another news about a 15-year-old girl lost their life while she was just on the way to the petrol station. She got harassed by another predator and she got murdered along the way. She was trailed and she was murdered, and the man claimed to say that she fell into an accident. He came to rescue her, but actually he assaulted her and he killed her. And so I wanted to talk about the severity of these acts, and they have caused not only taking away the future of these young girls every day and all over the world, not just my hometown, but also left many holes behind on those who value her in their relationship as well. That's why the sister, the daughter, and the lover. And not only that, even those girls that are still alive, those young innocent girls who are still alive, they still have to live in fear. Even if they're still alive, they still have to live in fear. So even though this topic is nothing new and it's been ongoing for a longest time, it's far from over. And so I think it's still worth talking about it, and I will not stop talking about it because as long as it's still happening. So this is all for me. Thank you very much. Um, this is all for me. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to share two extract because I might take up too much time if I were to read everything. But I hope it is something that perhaps I can connect to you guys as well.
Thank you, Mai Chin. I thought you were gonna also read the rest two of poems without explanations, but everyone, this is another two poems from Mai Chin. If you would like to read these poems, feel free to access it through our UNAZIN. It's ASEANYouthForum.org/UNAZIN. And moving to the next artist, it's Riris. So Riris' mindset was driven by some paradoxical situations which were not in accordance with the reality and norms in their environment. The way they see their phenomenon is through their painting style. Their views of environment for female painters in Indonesia are identical of bright and beautiful figures and are the symbolism of the feminism. So here they are. Riri, please come to the stage.
Hi, hello. My name is Rire, Rahmawati Rire from Surabaya, Indonesia, and I will I will read the poetry of the painting, and it's called Vagina Fatal in bahasa. Ujarnya, kau adalah kekasihku saat kau puaskan aku. Dalam senyapnya malam, aku rayu dan kau cumbu. Bawa aku untuk mengenal duniamu lebih jauh. Bawa aku untuk mengenalmu di tengah kebosananku dengan yang lalu-lalu. Aku tak ingin lagi merasakan sepi, bahwa aku ingin berhenti menjadi seperti ini. Rasuki aku sehingga aku punya nyali, dan menjauhlah saat kau rasa ini tak berarti lagi. And this artwork, a painting called Vagina Fatal, is an artwork that I had made when I felt an affection with a woman. I just knew her from a social media platform for lesbians. So she was so attracted to me that she finally fell in love. Well, this painting, one of my artworks under a common theme, the human being in love, just it. Because yeah, I really, I'm mostly painting about pain, about sadness and insecurity kind of thing. But yeah, the sensation of falling in love that I feel, I try to repress in this painting by new colors such as pink with a more carefree rhythm of the lines as sketched by opposing grooves that have been made previously with the additional point in some parts that are still in tune with the prior rhythms. A love for me is a deadly poison because whatever is wrong can be true, and whatever is true for my lover will also be true to me, and it's such foolish thing because it is controlled by a sense that is not purely from my personal mind. It is like, well, in Indonesia we call it as a budak cinta, yeah, love slaver, love slave. There is a feeling from other people who take part, then all the consequences that my lover feels are also felt by me. The heartbreaking story about my lover's past, the work she did as an escort girl, her profile as a drug user, the financial problems she felt so she had to sell her body in order to fulfill her daily needs. And it's such a tragedy for, common Indonesia woman. As if I felt it too because my high empathy personality and all of the problems of my lover's life, I try to depict in depict it on this vagina fatal with the predominance of dark colors, which tend to be black, decorated with bright blue color, that signifying the city light and the realizations of the youth lusts and desires. Love, lust, lust, and needs are things that must be felt by every human being who lives on Earth. However, if those three things just pushing the human beings into a circle of impotence that only brings sadness and momentary happiness, then everything in this world is merely just a mirage. There's the story behind and the concept behind of Vagina Fatal. I'm sorry because my camera is so dark, and you can check it out in my Instagram at callmerire, CALLMERIREE. You can follow me and I will follow you back, guys. Thank you so much. There is a story behind this painting. And thank you for the support. Good luck for ASEAN Youth Forum and all you guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, I didn't realize that the painting was behind you. So everyone, please highlight. There is a painting behind Rire. Okay, so just one thing I remember when I have Instagram live talk with the curator from UNAZIN 2, which is Naz, and I asked her which artwork that provokes her the most emotionally, and surprisingly, she mentioned this Vagina Fatale artwork. If I'm not mistaken, she said that I love Vagina Fatale because the paintings of them really, really embarks and provokes a lot of emotions within her just from seeing it. So if I'm not mistaken, that's the word. You can always check our Instagram live in our Instagram page. So thank you, and let's fly to the Philippines. The next artist is William Matawaran, a fine artist student from University of the Philippines. William actively worked on building skills on visual arts and graphic design, mainly on illustrations, having been proficient with using ink, graphite, and watercolors since William was a teenager. William skillfully illustrates various figures and sceneries where the primary subjects dealt with the human and animal form and sceneries. William is constantly inspired by the way Williams dealing with his emotions, animals, nature, and Asian's visual art. Feel free to visit Williams' Instagram at wmatawaran_. So, William, the stage is yours. Let me stop my sharing screen first, and I'll let you share your screen.
Okay. Can you hear me clearly? All right. Okay. So, okay, wait. Um, Sorry, wait. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, so so good evening, everyone. My name is William Matawaran from the Philippines, a student and a visual artist. I work as a freelance illustrator, and my personal works consist of LGBT subjects. So for this, I will be presenting three of my feminist and queer subjects from the past years. Okay, so for the first one is my submission from the Ioana Zine number 1, entitled Pusong LGBT, or an LGBT heart in English, in English translation, where I talk about gaining self-confidence and choosing your own battles as an LGBT identifying person, uh, talking to other people, as per the caption on the side. Saying, in a world where you are constantly being degraded for who you are, don't let it go through your head, no matter what the circumstances are. Find your peace, know your worth, and be strong. And I believe that pride is to be celebrated every day. Okay, thank you. So for my second one is my hindi ako sayang, or in English translation, I am not a waste. So it was, I created this last November 2020 in light of the glaringly dangerous comments and debates of Philippine lawmakers, church leaders, and individuals regarding the Philippines Anti-Discrimination Bill, or the SOGI bill, which states that the protection and rights of male and female, either LGBT identifying or heterosexual individual in the Philippines. So yeah, I'm so happy that it gained positive traction on my social media accounts, mainly on my Facebook page, fulfilling my intentions of bringing comfort and reassurance uh, to the audience. So with that traction, I made a second version of the illustrations. To This was made to represent some of the LGBT plus flags. So people can just grab it without without crediting me, and just wave just wave them proudly on their social media accounts. So I entitled this as the Hindi Ako Sayang series, or I Am Not a Waste series. So it was about, um let me in let me get it into English translation. So I am not a waste because I am a gay. I'm a gay person. I am not a waste because I'm a lesbian. I am not a waste because I am an ally. So on and so forth. Yeah. So for my last uh so this is a portrait of my boyfriend proudly waving a pride flag that I made for him last Valentine's Day. So I want to end my presentation with this. Truthfully speaking, every day is a reason to celebrate pride, in which love is and will still be the answer. So, yes, thank you, and happy to commemorate International Women's Day 2021 to all of you. With all of you, sorry.
Great. Oh, thank you for sharing this. Yeah, I would like to echo that every day is Pride Day, every month is Pride Month. So
Yeah,
let's embrace. And I love that you have the tweak on the version that I'm not a waste, that you tweak them to into a lot of versions to, you
yeah.
know, to voice out another identities in the community.
Coba sih
Thank you
kalau
so
mau
much. Let
lewat
me
sini. Coba sini di
share
sini. Jadi mau
the
nonton film.
screen again. Wait a second.
Aku bilang temenin, temenin apa? Nah, tapi ya penutut. Sekarang udah jam berapa?
Okay.
Yang nginep aja.
Somebody is not muting.
Saya
Yeah.
makan dulu ya.
Gimana gitu ngomongnya?
Okay. Next is Angela Ong, or Angela Z. She is 21 years old. She is an architecture apprentice who likes to draw in her free time. She personally loves drawing cute illustrations that make her happy or inspires her, and doodle whenever she can. In her free time, she draws on her iPad and lounges around with her dog, Hero. Feel free to check her Instagram at Angelazy Doodles. Angela, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Oh, wait a second. Let me find you. Okay. The stage is yours.
Okay. So hi, I'm Angela. I so this is what I drew last year for the Iwana design, and it was basically the premise of design was to share your feelings, thoughts, anything about how you were coping or dealing with the pandemic. And so I drew me and my boyfriend, a million pixels apart because we couldn't see each other, um, and like we had just started. Um, I think COVID happened like a few weeks or so after our like first anniversary, so we were kind of like freaking out, because and yeah, I just like drawing things that are close to my heart. So when this design came, my friend recommended me to participate in design, and since the premise was just to share how we feel about the current situation, I figured I would just share how I felt, which was at that point, I just, I wanted to be with the people I cared about the most. So that's why I drew this illustration. And that's really all. That's really all I can say about it.
I guess we can have a question and answer. Anyone would like to ask Angela on this? I have one question. I remember the opening of the zine was in the middle of 2020, and fast forward to 6 months later, which is now, is the feeling better or worse, or how do you how do you reassess the questions on feelings now?
We're still going strong. It was our 2-year anniversary last January, the end of January, so we're still doing okay. I guess it's easier now, like everyone's got into the rhythm of, quarantine, staying home, staying safe. So, it was really an adjustment period. I mean, with everything really, like work, with friends, and yeah, love life. So I mean, after a while, we all just kind of got into the rhythm. So it's pretty okay now. I mean, it's better, but I'm still hoping for the vaccine and everything. So yeah.
We are all waiting for the vaccine. Hopes we can get the vaccine as soon as possible. Anyone would like to question or throw a question to Angela? No? I guess that is all. Thank you, Angela, for taking the time here. Next, we're gonna fly to Thailand. We have Purnima Gokar. Wait a second. So Purnima is a creative practitioner, researcher, and educator. Her career intersects these three professional realms: artist or writer, researcher, and teacher. Her arts related writing, poetry, and research have been published in numerous journals and magazines in Australia, Canada, and Thailand. She is currently working on her debut poetry anthology that explores issues pertaining to women empowerment, self-discovery, and growth. So, welcome back, Purnima, to the stage. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Am I able to? Oh, you're sharing. Is it possible that I share my screen? I actually have some photos that go with the poem. I'm not sure if I would be able to do that.
Yes. Can you try sharing your screen now? Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, great. So this poem is a poem that I wrote for International Women's Day. It is an empowering poem, and it was inspired by an image of myself, and you will see the photograph in a minute when I go to the next slide. So I'm just going to start reading. Mirror, mirror on the wall. I don't need to be the fairest of all, but just to all the women that came before and formed me, for they fought for a glimpse in the looking glass and forged space for us daughters to rise so we could see our own reflections grow between each sunrise to moonlight. And when I look at myself now, I see courage birthed from her pain, immeasurable love nurtured from loss, wisdom found from being lost, a woman born from her life's stages and ages. And the longer I gaze into her eyes, the more her face multiplies. Mothers, daughters, sisters that I knew, know, and am yet to meet. You see, this mirror holds our collective resilience more than our individual vulnerabilities. Its fragility doesn't define our breakability, but projects us as rarities, faces full of the force of womanhood, shatterproof faces like porcelain, I'm carved with shards of glass that do not bleed, but seeps into the waterways under my skin. They hold centuries of women's stories untold. And when provoked, we unfold, unweave, undo the challenges beset upon us, so that the only challenges in front of us are the ones we set ourselves to be bolder, louder, prouder than ever before. So the only thing that could ever shatter is the mirror from the thundering choir of our voices challenging you to look at yourself and reflect. Choose to challenge. Thank you. So a lot of my work, as you can probably tell from this one, is based on women's empowerment, women's rights, and this poem in particular, I took a long time to write it because it came from a very personal space, and it uses the metaphor of the mirror, which I'm sure all of you, I think a lot of you can relate to, that shows yourself, your raw truth. Most often it shows our vulnerabilities, but this poem intends to communicate that it shows our collective resilience more than our vulnerabilities. Thank you.
It's so amazing. I love the metaphor. I love everything about the poem. Oh my God. We're gonna repackage this live into our Instagram tomorrow on the International Women's Day, and let's celebrate it again. So this is our closing artist for Yuana stage, special International Women's Day. Let me share my screen again. A second. Okay. So Francine Soberano from the Philippines. She has been a campus journalist for 9 years who goes by the pseudonym, RNDM Penholder. She spends most of her time reading and writing essays, articles, spoken word poems, etc., especially in Filipino, that tackle and focus on issues that are considered significant, taboo, and controversial. She is a firm believer that art should disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. That is a nice bio. So welcome to the stage, Francine.
Hi everyone, am I audible po?
Yes, we can hear you.
So, good evening. I'm Francine Soberano from the Philippines, and I am about to share my featured essay entitled Public Speaker. Actually, my essay was unfortunately not complete in the published zine. Only half of the essay was published. So, tonight I will be sharing the whole story of the entire one. The story behind my essay is that I wanted to play with the words public and speaker. When people hear about public speaker, they would automatically think about someone who delivers a speech or any material in front of a group of people. However, I wanted to use the adjective public, that public as a modifier to speaker may either make the meaning a speaker who addresses the public, or in another perspective, a speaker of the public. In short, a representative of the public. That is the main idea of my essay. I wrote my essay from the perspective of a girl who tried public speaking before but failed. Eventually, she found a better weapon of choice that is more suited for her, and that is writing. My essay has four transitional sentences that signal the realizations of that girl. The first and second were, I cannot be a public speaker, and I was not a public speaker. This is where she tried but failed to be a public speaker, and that her failure paved the way for her discovery of the art of writing. The third and fourth ones are, I am not a public speaker, and I am not a public speaker, but I am a speaker of the public. This is where she fully embraced her talent in writing, and that she says that she will use this to amplify the voices of the incapable, powerless, and abused. The girl refuses to be afraid and to be silenced. Writing has given her purpose and voice without even having to speak. In the end, she uttered the words, whatever it takes, I will continue writing and will refuse to be silenced. I may not be a public speaker, but I am a speaker of the public. Now that we are celebrating International Women's Day and with all the issues that are happening around the world, I hope that my essay sheds light on how we can all contribute to a better cause. We are not only limited to speaking in order to help. Journalists, writers, and even simple social media users who tweet and post informative and important issues are all contributors to change. Just like the girl in my essay, as we aim to empower women of all forms, shapes, colors, etc., let us not be discouraged and pressured if we can't help the way others help. We all have our own means, strengths, and weaknesses, so let us find our way to contribute in our own unique way. Any small act of helping can definitely make a huge difference. Let us not be afraid to speak for what is right. I, as a writer, just like the girl in my essay, will continue writing and will refuse to be silenced. That's all po. Thank you.
That is so powerful. Uh, I might need to check back on the theme of the first Yuana Zine, because if I'm not mistaken, the essay was supposed to be full essay to be published, but I need to check on that, because if I'm not mistaken, I read your essay full, but now I just realizing it's just uh, part one, part two. We don't have part three and part four. Let me just check back again, and I guess the public needs to read your essay full, Francine. Thank you so much. Anyone would like to throw a question or a discussion to Francine on her essay? No? Okay, so I guess uh, that's the end of our UANA Stage International Women's Day special. Just to wait, why? Uh, okay, why am I spotlighting? Okay, just to refresh your memory, in this Yuana Zine has 3 editions. The first one, the second one, and the third one, you can download and access and read Yuana Zine through ASEANYouthForum.org/Yuana Zine. We will be having the fourth Zine very, very soon, but not really that soon. So I am so excited. And just to reiterate the idea of this stage, tomorrow is International Women's Day. Let's reflect on our activism and check back again on our reality, if women is already equal to man or other gender or not. Does women have the access to public spaces as much as men have now. And of course, don't forget, I totally agree with the poems that Mai Chin just read about gender-based violence, that is sexual violence, especially that experienced by a lot of by girls and women all around the world. We should work together, especially in ASEAN. We should mobilize so that ASEAN can be a people-centered and gender-sensitive region in this planet. I guess that is all in the Yuana stage. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for the artists here for performing, and happy International Women's Day, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye.
Let me, okay.
Bye.
How
Thank
to end?
you.
Happy International Women's Day.
Thank
all.
you.
International Women's Day, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.